Why wholesaling software keeps you poor. Guys, it's Rick Ginn, and today we're talking about how to use wholesaling software and what do you really need to get started in wholesaling. Am I wasting money and time on these? I want to give you the real scoop on it, but before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the best information on wholesaling today. That's right, I said most wholesaling softwares are keeping you poor. Honestly, so many of you are so distracted by the latest greatest gadget that comes out, and you have an itch in you. And when you have that itch in you, you buy it. Why? Because you bought the marketing pitch. I will tell you, all wholesaling software is designed from the marketing element first. What problem are they solving? And they're going to show you how they're going to fix it. And it's usually the biggest problem wholesalers like you and me have, but the reality is softwares never quite add up to what they say they're going to do. Don't get me wrong, there is phenomenal softwares out there, but for the most part, why is it that every week a new software is released? Actually, I've seen a new piece of software released every week for the last 20 plus years. Are all they perfect softwares? No, the problem is there's a few good ones and there's a lot of really bad apples in there. So let's dive into it. Let me show you some things that I've learned over the last 20 plus years when it comes to wholesaling software. Number one, when I started out in 2003, I did not use software. To be honest with you, my first 2 years of wholesaling, I didn't use 1 ounce of technology. Here is the only 3 things that I got started in wholesaling, and I'm here to tell you it still exists today. Number one, a cell phone. Kind of hard to operate without a cell phone. And why? Because you got to contact sellers. And without having that, it's impossible. Number 2, a car is extremely helpful. Although in today's age, with virtual wholesaling stuff, it's not as much a requirement. But if you're doing a local market, it will be hard to get around with that. If not, if you can borrow a car or do an Uber or something like that, I get it. The third requirement is just a simple notepad, a yellow notepad. That's it. That was my database. That was everything. Guys, those are the only 3 things I got started out in wholesaling. In fact, I did over 45 deals without any technology. I just want you to understand that you don't technically need it. I'll be brutally honest with you. It just makes things a little bit easier and convenient. But on the flip side, it hurts a lot of people because they think it's the cure-all to their problems, and it's not. It takes you, the wholesaler, to go out and talk to as many sellers as possible that are motivated. It's not about talking to everyone who's got a house for sale. That's a completely different line of work. That's what realtors do. We find people that need to sell their house. We help them solve the problem they want, and they get a win-win situation with theirs. We get a win-win, and everybody walks away more positive. That's all the wholesaling is. So at some point, we decided software's got to fix everything in our life, and I'm here to tell you it helps, but a lot of you are using it as a crutch and you're using it as a band-aid, and it's holding you back as a seller. Let me show you why. You see, when I got started, I only focused on really 2 things. It was marketing to motivated sellers and meeting with sellers. I was obsessed. It's the only thing I wanted to do. Now, I didn't get distracted with softwares and stuff like that. It was pretty straightforward. So you're thinking like, well, hey, Rick, well, how the heck did you pull the list? I'm glad you asked that. I would actually go down to my county and pull the list, because back then we didn't have a choice. We go to the courthouse and pull every list. See, all the government lists are mostly public data. Now, you have to navigate through the privacy policy, but they're always there for you. But so many of you guys are relying on technologies to pull these lists for you. If the internet shut down tomorrow, you could go down to your county offices, your courthouses, your building departments, and pull a majority of these lists. But we've gotten so lazy and so reliant on technology with software, we assume we have to pay everyone for this. Most of these lists are free. You do have to work to get them, but I'm telling you, all these lists existed before any of this software came about. So once I pulled my government list, it was real simple what I did. I went out and I door knocked pre-foreclosures like there was no tomorrow. I like tax delinquency too. I also did the sticky notes for the reverse driving for dollars. And then I also did driving for dollars. When I saw a distressed house, I got out of the car and I went, ready for this? I knocked on the door and talked to them. No software is going to do that for you. Now, I'm fine using software and tools to help you gather data, but some of you guys are using 6 and 7 services. You're going broke using them. And the reality, if you haven't got to deal number 5 yet, I don't think you should even have any of these services. Why? Because if you can't get 5 wholesale deals off government list and old school tactics, you're probably not going to do well when you do paid lists and you use all these different types of list methods that software companies use. That's why I want you to get 5 deals on your belt, because it means you're most likely cut out for wholesaling. You're extremely resourceful. And then when you can crack into paid lists, you can do some serious damage. So once I used all my techniques for marketing to my sellers, the driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, and just good old door knocking, I focused on acquisitions. And I just met with as many sellers as I humanly possibly can. I don't need any piece of software to tell me how to do that, and you don't either. And then after I was setting acquisitions and doing everything was follow-up. and that's where the phone worked. And most of it was in the evening from like 4 to 7. Just tons and tons of follow-up calls on motivated sellers to get them positioned and primed so I could go on appointments and get contracts sold. You see, software is never going to tell you that stuff, guys. It can help you organize it and do it all. But if I went 2 years and didn't use a lick of software and I did 45 plus deals on it, I don't know why you guys feel so reliant to do your first deal with software. And honestly, it's handicapping you because you're depending on it. So let me share with you the software tools that you can use for free to get you not only your first deal up to your first 5 deals, then you can open up and use some of these other paid wholesale software systems. But in the beginning, let's start with the basics, the stuff that gets you deals for free. Number one is Google Docs and Drive. My God. Honestly, I've seen people run their entire businesses from this. It's wonderful. You can share it. It's in the cloud. I love it. You can share pictures. You can put restrictions on it. All wholesale operators should work within Google Drive, Google Docs. It is phenomenal. The next one, while we're on Google products, just get a Gmail account. It's free. I get it. There's advertising on it, but we're on a budget. Just go ahead and get your email. The third one, which you already have, and I don't want to hear you guys complaining about, you already have a cell phone. So you're already paying for it. So it's technically free. Use it. Also forgot to mention the next Google product, which you're going to need, which is Google Voice. It's free. You get a virtual phone number. You have to go through some verification, but you can use this in conjunction with your cell phone. That allows you to text for free and call sellers for free. And last but not least, Podio, guys. It's just a simple CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relations Manager. It's just a database in a computer. And if you use the free version of Podio, it's free. Even the most upgraded version you can use, I think it's $12 to $14 per user. Very, very manageable, just about free, but you can start out with free. Guys, that's all you need. If you can't use these free things I get you to not only get your first deal, but to get you to 5, then I promise you there is no wholesale software that is going to do all the work and close your sellers for you. That is the difference where most wholesalers get stuck. See, software doesn't close anyone for you. It just helps you guide it and makes it a little bit easier to get information. But when it comes to actually meeting with sellers, going over their objections and getting contracts signed, it's always going to be you. Don't ever think a software can do that for you. So since we mentioned the free softwares that you can get started to get your first few deals in wholesaling, I want to tell you about some of the paid ones. These are the ones that we actually use in our business and that actually work from extremely reputable companies. And here's the rule. If I'm ever going to buy wholesaling software, number one, I want a big company backing it up. They got your credit card. They have access to your code words, your list, very valuable information. Make sure it's in the United States and there's someone you can speak to on the phone. If you can't speak to someone on the phone, do not use that data surface. It means they don't care about you and they're probably going to sell the company and you're going to be left high and dry. I've been through this so many times, guys. Reputable companies. Once I even went to open up a data company, and you know what I realized? I'm a really good wholesaler and I am not a data computer software building guy. And so the last thing I think is, I don't think wholesalers should ever build a software company. Why? Because they're really good at wholesaling. They're really good at talking to people, and I leave the experts to the experts. So I'm not a programmer by nature. I get it. A wholesaler can direct them, but it's hard, guys. So when you see a lot of these fly-by-night software companies for wholesaling, they rarely last. They're usually just quick course grabs. They try to sell you a course and data and run. If it's not established and reputable, don't use them. I want to go through some of the most established and reputable ones in the names. I've been doing this 21 years. So you guys know how I feel about PropStream. I love PropStream. I think it's amazing. And to be honest with you, I switched over. It's been a number of years. It's been almost 6 years now, 5.5. And really for the first year, I used the ListSource and PropStream because I didn't trust the company. As they built their reputation, they showed they're around, they're a reputable company. I've never had a problem with my credit card. Whenever I call, they fix problems, anything. I've even had mistake lists. They help me out with it. PropStream's phenomenal. I love PropStream. Honestly, one of the most simple platforms you can operate on it. If you want to check it out, it's listrei.com. It's under $100 a month. You get a 7-day free trial period. And here's the cool part. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than an employee. Number 2 is we use batch leads. They're like, well, Rick, batch leads, PropStream, I thought they're competitors. Once again, I don't own a software company. And because me and Zach love to talk about wholesaling, we will only represent the best companies. If you don't hear the company on these videos, it means I don't use them, and there's usually a reason for it. Now, I don't have ownership in either company, so I'm going to represent the companies that are going to help you out the best. Batch leads through smsac.com is specifically catered to someone who does more cold calling. They have a lot of integrations in there. It's got some more advanced features. PropStream through listrei.com is a little bit simpler. Honestly, they both work wonderfully. Both the data is good, and I give props to both companies. And that's wild to see a wholesaler influencer go out and speak about 2 companies. Listen, guys, here's me and Zach's theories. If it's good for wholesalers, we're going to put it out for you. I am not owned by any of these companies. None of these companies pay me directly as an employee or anything anything like that. And I've told them both, as long as you guys support your product, keep improving it, and help out wholesalers, we're going to promote you. The minute you stop doing it, we are done. And there are so many wholesaling softwares out there. I think they're just designed to sell. And with the keyword of AI, now you have AI software out there being sold. The problem with AI, it changes monthly, weekly, daily. And for the most part, AI should be free. And now someone's going to give you a packaged up service. Guys, just pay attention. These buzzwords are all about impulsive buys, and software is no different, especially when it comes to wholesaling. Remember, it's you that has to do the work. You use software to help you gain data, analyze it, do whatever you can. List stacking. You guys always hear about list stacking when somebody's on the foreclosure list and somebody's on the eviction list or somebody's on the tax delinquency list. It simply means that the odds are higher it's going to be a better deal. But the reality is, to pay $500-$600 a month for a list stacking service when you don't even have your first deal, it doesn't even make sense. Guys, don't let these things distract you. There's cash buyer software. It's supposed to do everything for you, analyze your buyers, automatically feed data, automatically send text. Guys, at the end of the day, you still got to pick up the phone and call your cash buyers, vet them. There's no software that's going to do it for you. I know they all pitch it's going to be super easy. The reality is the people who are pitching it to you are influencers that are given the software for free, and then their job is to push it out everywhere. And that's why you guys get hammered with such ridiculous software companies focused on wholesaling. And then the last one are like leads done for you service. Like, you only pay us if you actually do a deal off of that. If that was the case, I would sign up with every one of these companies. I've tried them, and 99% of the time, they wind up being all hype, no product, no nothing. Guys, software is software, and software takes time to develop. And the reality is, wholesaling is about connecting with people, conversing with sellers, and closing people. And I'm here to tell you, software is never going to do that for you. So if you're out there trying to get your first deal or get to your first 5 deals, please don't spend all your energy on wholesale softwares, because it's really designed to distract you, pull money out of your wallet. And the reality is, you just got to get to work. You've got to talk to as many people as you possibly can, and you got to work with sellers and help them solve their problems. So guys, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on wholesaling software. I just think there's just so many things out there. It's getting a little bit ridiculous. Stay with the tried and the true, the big companies, the ones that are in the United States that you can actually call and talk to someone. They have your credit card. If you're going to trust them with your data, with your finances and your credit card, make sure you're doing highly reputable companies. The problem with these software companies is they pop up overnight. They promise you the world, and they're all gone in a year or two. And I've seen it since 2003. And here I am 20 plus years later, and the same crap's going on. Guys, don't believe the hype. Just go out there, talk to sellers, get deals. I believe in you. Wholesaling is a people-to-people game. Yes, we're going to use technology. We're going to use AI to help us out, but in the end, it's always going to be up to you. The software is not going to do the work for you. So this is Rick Ginn, and I'll see you in the next video.